Coming up on Winning Bets, let's recap NFL Sunday, share with you the baseball stats, and give you 2 baseball bets as well. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for kicking off your week with me. Let's start it off before we kick off our week. Let's take a look back at NFL Sunday and see how we fared. As you can see right there, we went 5-3 on the NFL Sunday. Started off with a good Packers cash. That was nice and easy. Steelers hit their team total. Buffalo Bills hit their team total. McCaffrey was able to get in the end zone a couple times, not just once. Devontae Adams, he didn't really do all that much. Watched a little bit of that game, and he pretty much was sitting on the sidelines most of that second half, or at least the fourth quarter there when the Packers had such a big lead. The frustrating one is there, Zach Moss, as you can see there in a tweet. Zach Moss is a Buffalo Bills running back, so watch that entire game. He went off in the third quarter with an injury, sitting at 37 yards, and didn't come back until the last drive of the game. It looked like just to really spell Singletary, because I'm sure by that time, he was tired and worn out, and the Bills only have 2 running backs active on game days. And Moss really didn't do anything that final drive. They didn't hand him the ball at all, so never got an opportunity to get that one more yard that we need. So that was just really, really, frustrating there. And then you can see we hit one of our NFL teasers. All the teams won. The Bills, 49ers, and Cardinals all handled business. And then we were tripped up there in our other teaser there. We couldn't get the Vikings. They covered 10.5. I mean, it's unreal. The Vikings absolutely went into Indianapolis and laid an egg. Look at Kirk Cousins' stats. Are you kidding me? He can complete 50% of his passes. Only gets 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. QBR of 9.2 and a quarterback rating of 15. Are you kidding me, Kirk Cousins? What garbage did you go out there and throw up an absolute stinker? Even tease that up to 2.5. Give ourselves like a little advantage in case it was double digits. Even though I really didn't even think it was. I shared with you guys the stat there with Coach Zimmer how he's 19-3-1 covering the spread, coming off a loss against a non-conference or non-divisional foe, which is exactly obviously what this matchup was. And man, the Vikings threw up a dud, and Kirk Cousins was obviously the main reasons of that. So that was unfortunate, going 5-3 there on the NFL Sunday. Overall, our week was 15-16, and we're down 3.02 units. So we'll obviously, look to get that back as we go on into this week. Let me also share with you the eliminator picks. As everybody, there were 7 people still alive in the week 2, and everybody made a selection on Sunday. So let's go ahead and put that up. As you can see right there, the 49ers were a trendy pick. A really, really comfortable win for the 49er pickers, including myself. Cardinals were another easy win over the Redskins. The Steelers and Bills, I guess you could say they were a sweat. More of the Steelers than the Bills. I watched more of that Steelers game than I would have liked because the Bills, were in a lightning delay at one point. Then there was a power outage at the stadium. And they're both of those delays. CBS cut over to these Broncos-Steelers game. So watched a little bit more of that game than I would have liked. And that was a little bit of sweat. The Bills, score-wise, was a sweat. But, they gave up a late touchdown. The Bills kind of really handled that game. And then the Chiefs, that was the ultimate sweat there. S. Lowry, he's one of my buddies in this contest. He had the Chiefs. And, boy, I'm sure he was uncomfortable for a majority of that game. But he had Mahomes on his side. So not too worried there. But, yeah, all right. So everybody's alive. All 7 of us roll into the next week. We'll go ahead and update the Pick'em stats on tomorrow's show after Monday Night Football, so we'll see where everybody stands in both of the Pick'em spread and also the Pick'em straight contest. So look for that to come out on tomorrow's show. Before I give you guys my 2 baseball bets today, let me go ahead and share with you guys the baseball stats that we've been tracking throughout the season, both on the bullpen and also on the hitting. Let's go ahead and throw up on here right now the pitching for the bullpen. As you can see, the top 10 bullpen. We've got the Dodgers there as a top bullpen. You got Athletics, Indians, Brewers, and Twins. Several of those teams, mainly being the Indians, Athletic, Dodgers, and Brewers, they've been hovering in that top 10 majority of the season. I went ahead and put on the bottom there, you can see it says with 4. And I put on there the teams that only appear in 4 of those 5 stats. Like you can see Dodgers right now, the one stat that they don't appear in there is the K per 9. And then if I put in there the ranking, that means they appear in the bottom half of that. So Dodgers, they don't appear in the K per 9 in terms of a top 10 bullpen. But that one stat alone, they're in the bottom 10 of Major League Baseball. And then they fall in 25th, where Twins, They have 4 of these 5 categories. The one category that they're not in the top 10 is in opponent's batting average, but there's no ranking there, so they're not in the bottom 10. So they're about average right there with opponent's batting average. So that's how I went ahead and do that for you guys there. Let's flip it on over to the bottom 10 of bullpens. Lots of bad bullpens going on. Phillies, they've been a bottom bullpen majority of the season. So have the Rockies, so have the Red Sox. Mariners, Marlins have been bottom 10 bullpens. Diamondbacks, we know, have been bottom 10 bullpen. So a lot of these teams have looked like they're struggling throughout most of the season. You can see there, Phillies, Tigers, and the Red Sox only appear 4 of those 5 categories. With the Red Sox, though, the one category that they're not in the bottom 10, the K per 9, they're actually riding 8th in, so a little bit good there on strikeouts. So that's how the bullpen data kind of sorts out. Let's go ahead and look at that from a hitting perspective, and let's start off with the guys that are really slugging it so far this season. You can see Braves are a top offense. They have been the last few weeks, so have the White Sox. Giants were a surprise. They appeared in our data last time we revealed this information, and they remain in it again several weeks later, so they're doing good. Nationals, Padres, Phillies, Dodgers, all with really top offenses, and there on the bottom you can see the teams that are only in 4 of the categories, and then, you know, if they're in the flip side of that. And then if we go ahead and look at the bottom of the offenses, you can see the Rangers. They've once again are in the bottom 10. Pirates, Mariners, Diamondbacks. All these teams have been in the bottom 10. The one team that has climbed out of the bottom 10 of offense is the Brewers. Now they're no longer a bottom 10 offense. But you can see the Rangers, Pirates, the Diamondbacks, like I said, they've been the bottom 10 majority of the season. So that's how it sorts out. Let's go ahead now and jump in our bets. I wanted to go ahead and got 2 bets for you. The first one is the Astros and the Mariners. Look, I just showed you guys with the data right there that the Mariners are a bottom 10 offense and they're a bottom 10 bullpen. So that's not really that good going for them. And their starter, Gonzalez, on the mound, he's already faced the Astros once this season, and it was more bad than good. 4.1 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits and a walk and gave up 4 runs in that game. So not one that, you know, he's going to be proud of at all. Meanwhile, you got McCullers on the mound for the Astros. He's had 2 good outings so far this season against the Mariners, and he's also coming off an absolute stellar against the Rangers, 7 innings pitched of no-run ball, so that's good. I like the Astros pitching and hitting advantages in this matchup, and I also like the value that they're coming in at. So give me the Astros money line at -122. All right, the next game we want to look at is the Rockies and the Giants. And again, much like the Mariners and Astros, you've got a top 10 offense here in the Giants going up against a bottom 10 bullpen in the Rockies. So I really like that. And to go along with the Rockies having a bad bullpen, they used their starter in yesterday's game at 35 pitches. So he's probably going to be down. So a bottom 10 bullpen without their best arm coming out of that bullpen, like that a lot. The starters are on the mound are Marquez and Cueto. Man, looked up their numbers on the season. They're virtually the same in every category. ERA, WHIP, opponent's batting average, everything is like almost identical to each other. So no, advantage right here. We're really going to look for the Giants to be able to capitalize on this bullpen here. And, so because of that, I like the value and I like the spot here. I'm going Giants money line at -128. This is probably going to be 2 matchups to where maybe we bet all 3 of these. Let's see how these go tonight, but it could be definitely a scenario where we're going to back the Astros and the Giants in all 3 games, especially if we get the value here, 122 and 128. That's just exceptional value for who they're playing in terms of the big discrepancies between these offenses and bullpens. So really like that. We'll monitor that going forward. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. It's @WinningBetsPod. It's @WinningBetsPod. I go ahead and bring that up because there's a couple Premier League games today with Wolves playing Manchester City and Aston Villa playing Sheffield. And then also in Serie A, we've got AC Milan playing Bologna. So we may be making some soccer bets once lineups are announced later on this afternoon. So make sure you're going ahead and following me there in case we go ahead and get one of those out there. All right, guys, enjoy your week. Thanks for kicking off your Monday with me. I'm Jason Mattis, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.